Well, Liz, how'd you feel about the turnout and what you accomplished here today?
I was delighted by the turnout. I've been having town halls, probably 20 of them over the last 5 years, and this was the biggest turnout ever. My legislative aide Shelby counted 150 residents. So I'm very pleased with the audience, and everybody was respectful, and we had a good debate.
How do you feel about the diversity of ideas that were presented here today?
I thought they were presented with lots of choices, bridges, tunnels, a lot of different locations, and the point of today's exercise really was whoever is going to defend our citizens, what they want and what they don't want on new connectors to Oregon, they need to know what those are, and they need to have a real good sense from the people of which ones we want to defend and which ones we want to reject. And that's why today was so important, because as an elected state representative, I need to carry that message forward, whether it's me or some other legislator, whether it's a senator or a House member. Those representatives must reflect the values of our community when discussing options with Oregon. And that's why today was so critical.
And it seems like you've done a good job of welcoming everybody at the table, not making any prejudgments before you complete this process. You mentioned you're going to have a couple more town halls. Tell me about your thoughts about gathering that type of information.
Well, again, it's critical that the people are going to have to pay for whatever we decide. I mean, all of us, you and me and our community. These bridges aren't free. They don't just drop from heaven like manna. And one of our presenters talked about the fact that our country is now approaching a $21 trillion debt. In the old days, when we built new bridges, like the 205, for example, the federal government had a central role in the financing. I have a copy of the 15-page document that was the federal compact between Oregon and Washington to build the Glenn Jackson Bridge, and so the feds were involved. It's 15 pages. It's beautiful in its simplicity, and it said what Oregon was going to do, what Washington was going to do, and what role the feds were going to do in the building of the Glenn Jackson 205 bridge. And that bridge, at today's dollars, would cost around $400 million. It was 260 or 270 million at the time when it was opened in 1980. So going forward, I want to have more town halls just like this one today. Now, this was our goal was to encourage people from the 17th and 18th districts that are on the east side of the county. And we anticipate having another town hall in the Battleground area and also the Richfield area, so that we can hear from all of because our districts, the 17th and 18th, are very big. And we basically are the entire county outside the Vancouver urban center. And it's important that our citizens are engaged in the process, and that's what today was about. And going forward, we're also going to ask people through our regular communications on what they think about this. And I'm anxious to be able to go through all the comment cards that were submitted today, because the most important thing is State Representative Kraft and I, we represent the people, and we need to respect that. But unless we hear from the people, we won't know what that message should be. So today was the first step in gathering information from the public.
Lastly, you introduced a House bill to explore the transportation solutions. Senators Cleveland and Rivers have announced an intention to create a bill. Can you tell us how your two bills differ?
My bill was introduced in the first week of session, and their bill was just dropped last night. And I haven't read the entire bill. I skipped over it kind of because I was getting ready for my own town hall. But the big differences that I spotted just on the cursory view of theirs was my bill, HB 1222, creates a BiState bridge group made up of 8 legislators from each state, so a total of 16 legislative stakeholders, and it specifies clearly an equal number of Ds and Rs, Democrats and Republicans, will comprise that committee. And the reason why that's important is we need to make sure that it is a bipartisan agreement, that no one group or no one political ideology hijacks that process. That's another big difference. And probably the most profound difference in the bills is HB 22, my bill, basically says that we are not just going to focus on the I-5 corridor, but we are going to look at additional corridors for new capacity to improve freight mobility and relieve traffic congestion. And that is central to the bill. Lastly, it also talks about a 10-year plan, a 25-year plan, and a 50-year plan. And the other bill, I don't believe has that in it. So that is critical, that when we get these two states together, we not only look at the issues we need to address today, but we create a plan for 25 and 50 years down the road, because legislators come and go, and we can't have this interruption in a really sound strategy to deal with our future transportation needs every time new people come and go in the legislature. And we have 2-year terms in the House, and there's 4-year terms in the Senate, and legislators come and go. So it's really key that we put a plan in place that both states can accept and embrace, but it has to start with the people first.
Liz, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity.